Hello, my name's Dan. I'm the Product Marketing Manager here at Slug Disco. And in today's video, we're going to be chatting with Paul, the developer of Adapt. Adapt, for those who don't know, is a spore-like creature survival game currently in development. To survive, you need to guide your species through an ever-changing world, competing with strange creatures for resources and food and territory, with the ultimate goal being to find your niche in the world. I'll be chatting with Paul about the current state of the project, like what he's been working on, what's coming up next, and we're going to show off some new parts which come into the Creature Editor too. So let's just jump straight into it.
Yeah, so recently I've been working mostly in the editor, doing a lot of prep work for the upcoming first iteration on progression, which is basically going to be focused primarily on the new requests from AI. So in the future, this new requesting system will allow an alternative or sort of a progression of the current system where you befriend AI animals by sort of being around them and finding them presents and things. And so the AI will now have actual requests that will be populated occasionally, and then you can gain favor with them by completing the request, delivering. The first version of this will be delivering like food, and then I want to add some other objects in the future as well that are non-edible that they may request. Progressing past that, there will be the need for unlockables. So a lot of the genetics, some of which are already in the game, but also upcoming genetics will be locked behind your progression through the game. And so that all of that work needs to basically touch the editor. And then of course needs some UI redesign as well, which you can see some of the stuff, things look a little bit different, a lot different in some cases than they do currently in the live version. And this is a good example of something that's kind of a stand-in temporarily while this is getting implemented, and so don't get too attached to anything visually so far. But here's a quick look at kind of what some of this new editor stuff is going to look like, as well as some new parts. As you can see here, we have beaks, which are upcoming. And these are not all fully implemented yet, so let's break something just for fun here, just to give an example. So if we add an armored frill, oh no, that actually one works. So let's try. Nope, these are all working. Apparently, I didn't do a very good job of not fully implementing this stuff, but I know something doesn't work. Let's find it. Let's see, sharp teeth. Sharp teeth. I can't remember if it's in the current version, but sharp teeth will now have little actually teeth that are visible, and this will replace fangs as well. They're currently in the game as sharp teeth, and then you can be upgraded to fangs. That's actually going to change because oh, here's some. I can see them poking through. A little too much actually, so that could use a tweak. But anyway, some of them have them, some don't. Basically, I'm still filling this out. But upcoming, the new beaks will support all the normal stuff. But anyway, sorry. That was a tangent. The genetics will feature this leveling up component, so different parts will have the ability to be increased or decreased based on, like, just from a fundamental level. So this will replace some of the redundant adaptations that are currently in the game, and allow you to sort of scale up linearly, and will also be part of this progression structure as well. And so the gist is that as you move through the game and unlock these new parts and new genetics through your achievements, you'll then get access to them temporarily for that game save. So permanently for the game save, but then when you start a new game, these parts will still not be unlocked simply by progressing through a single game save. However, formal achievements, a lot like Steam achievements, will actually permanently unlock a lot of these parts, and so you'll be able to start the game with, say, beaks, or an example of a part that will be in the full release will be not available for like a first day player. You'll have to unlock them for future animals, or for the animal you're currently playing for the duration of that gameplay. So regarding the interaction system, again, you're going to see some like in-process text here for the requests. So that's just a placeholder for me while I do the coding stuff, and then I can go back and kind of beautify it. And so delivery. So basically, what you're going to see is this F key now will sort of open this little radio menu, which will allow you to do special behaviors, which are context dependent, meaning like dependent on what you're interacting with. At the moment, it's just a singular system that's actually visible right now, but the idea is this will replace like nesting and add more complex social interactions. I would like to add like nuzzling, for example, or grooming as means of sort of alternate social mechanics, and that'll also play into, again, the new requests system. So some of these requests will be really simple stuff like just like, hey, groom me, and that will allow players like not, pretty simple means of improving their relationships in addition to like actually going and fetching objects and things like that. Possibly getting into conflicts, which would not be a first version or first release version of that mechanic, but this stuff is pretty exciting to me because definitely like a place I've always seen room for improvement here is with the social interactions. That's sort of a really fundamental part of the game for me in a design sense, and so getting to this new content is really something I've been a long time looking forward to. And we'll all, this is all very holistic sort of stuff that's going on regarding the new progression structure, which is going to be a big part of, I think, adding replayability or long-term playability to the game for people, as well as a sense of direction. I think that in the survival genre in general, it's long been an issue or a struggle to kind of find places where the players are, able to explore and roam around in these sort of endless worlds, but also not feel lost or kind of, oh, that guy's big, and then feel that sense of direction, a sense of purpose. And so this is all designed sort of fundamentally with that in mind. Yeah, so in addition to these interaction changes and the new upcoming progression and request content, there's also going to be, as I mentioned before, a number of changes to the editor. A lot of it is UI improvement and trying to touch up some of the pain points that I was seeing for many months now. People having some confusion about like how to modify the genes using the adaptations and this sort of drag and drop system, which conceptually is I thought very fun feeling, but it's just a little bit less snappy and a little bit less obvious for people. And so I wanted to go in and make this shop actually a little bit more like it used to be a long time ago, but also a bit more streamlined. And so kind of find what worked best about each of those systems and try and apply it. In addition to that, the new parts, so we have these new beaks here, but the new part structure will be much more based on the individual parts rather than sort of these overarching genes. And so now we have separate parts even within a single gene. So for example, within this new beak, you can see that the parts will have individual pricing, and of course here they're the same, but they can be changed. They can be priced accordingly per part, in addition to separate stats. And so now, even with just the one beak gene, without having to change your genes, you can get access to some various options as far as your play style. And of course, diet is a really extreme example of that. It's going to really fundamentally change the way that you interact with the world. So I think that's very exciting. And then lastly, as far as the changes sort of under the hood or with the gameplay rather than just UI stuff, you can see that the new gene shower, gene editing system allows not only for the same sort of purchasing of new adaptations, which can, in this case, change your current parts, but also a big deviation is going to be the inclusion of this new leveling up of of adaptations or of the gene itself in order to get an increase in your stats associated to that part. And so you'll see some changes in the next update to what adaptations are available, or some of them are going to be merged into this system. So there will be some different stuff going on there. And yes, I'm really excited to roll that out, and that's still ongoing. All of this is still ongoing, of course. So you'll see some assets that are not quite done. Like this is not really where I'd like it yet. This little panel here is sort of just to make sure the buttons are there and they work and all that stuff. So yeah, so thanks for reaching out, and I hope everybody's excited to see this stuff when it gets in your hands, and I'm working hard to get it there.
Okay, so there we have it. That was our chat with Paul. If you want to learn more about Adapt, there is a link in the description below, and you can play the demo, which is available now on Steam. The game will be launching into early access at some point. We're not ready to announce when, but yeah, there is a demo available on the Steam page if you want to check that out and just kind of get playing, and that demo will be updated as we go along with development of the game as well. So with that said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!